All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Pato. With me is going to be Phillip and Criznox battling it out here in the Duelist Community Throwdown. So we're going to see a match here. These guys aren't fighting necessarily for the cup, but they're in the middle of the pack right now, battling it out. We haven't got to see a lot of Abyssian today, so it's going to be some Abyssian versus Vitruvian. Saw Joyful Rogues Vitruvian a little bit earlier. We'll see how he does the rest of this way out, and we'll see what we go. So replace here happens. He has a pretty solid opening, I would say, for a Vitruvian player, being able to start Obelisk and follow up with Pyromancer. Pyromancer very good here, mainly because Lasso can actually kill the Pyromancer, which is the sucky part. Even if you had another health, you'd probably bring it near your general and hit it. The cool part is the reason you want to place it in the middle instead of off to the side is it makes it so that the general cannot position anywhere that is not in a row that the Pyromancer would be able to hit. Generally, though speaking, if you move 2 up or down, you keep it in that same tight row, which is pretty good in the sense that what it does is it makes the Pyromancer easier to reach. You don't want the Pyromancer backing out to one of the back rows if you have an option to do so. So Crystal's going to grab. He has five mana on the board, which is very good. I always enjoy watching how players actually deal with like where they put their mouse and all that stuff when they're playing. Kind of interesting always, just to see how much they... Oh, there we go. Wraithling Swarm. So Wraithling Swarm now, actually, the last patch now spawns 4 dudes, which is actually going to use to grab another mana crystal and get another 3. Now, spreading out like this means you can't get a lot of value out of a row, but Shadow Watcher can be valued here. Oh, no. I think he's realizing it. Oh, wow. So this is like all the gas. So this is like all the cards out of like the opponent's hand, pretty much. What's he playing? Is he playing anything? Oh, okay. So he's going to make it a 2-2. It's still going to die, though, is the problem. So he thought he could make it strong enough by playing something, but he couldn't, or maybe ran out of time. If he had the 4-1 rush, that would have been really good. Didn't have that there. So still going to be able to clear a lot of this out. And more importantly, going to be able to blast through a lot of it. He can actually take out 2 units with 1 blast unit. So that's clearly his next play here. He's going to run, and you see he gets to that back row, and that back row just keeps him a little bit safer. And that the new blast animation, man, it's like gotta create a wormhole when we shoot that blast. It's powerful, strong. That's what we need. What are we going to do, Dervish? Where's the Dervish going to go? So the Dervish can actually be a 4-4 here. So his decision right now is basically, like, how do I want to, like, clear stuff out? I generally lean towards clearing minions out because that is the fuel of the Abyssian, and how they can draw a lot of their damage out is through that. So I typically prefer to, instead of damage, I clear out. I clear out minions. And this is a very big turn right now. Wait, what? What? No! Oh, no. Poor Criznox. He could have actually buffed that Ephemeral another time for +2/+2. You don't actually have to be near to cast it. It's anywhere on the board, which I think is probably a change that needs to happen. But he could have had a 6/4 instead. Now he just has a 4/2, and he actually just kind of wasted a Doomcaster ability. Doomcaster gets rid of the ephemeral part of dervishes, so it actually makes them last forever. Okay. So he's actually going to get rid of the Obelisk, which is a pretty good. It's just a constant source of minions. He's going to be able to trade out both of his Wraithlings now for this Dervish, which is sad, but overall he still has great board presence and positioning right now. Like he's in the driver's seat. There's 3 left. His hand again. His opponent spent a lot of gas last turn, so he only has 2 cards in his hand. Not going to be threatened too much by 3-cost type units. He might be able to play an assassin trade, but I don't think there's a lot of good choices. He's trying to find out where he wants to move his general, or to play this out. So he's going to Wraithling Swarm again. Interesting. Okay. So Wraithling Swarm comes out again. So note that Vitruvian doesn't have a lot of good answers to Wraithling Swarm. Their best answer in general is pretty much like you get it's Sion's Second Wish, like, or Sion's whatever, the Star's Fury. Sorry, Star's Fury, where you start him a dervish in front of every other minion, right? That's probably their best answer in a lot of cases, to spread out a line of Wraithlings. Otherwise, like nothing like wipes board. Oh man. Oh man. So yeah, again, clear out board is the name of the game. He's going to be able to clear out this entire board here for his opponent. I actually would probably walk down to where this Wraithling was dead if I were him, just so that you get the Dunecaster closer and create more pressure. I usually prefer to do for that. Also note that now he has the 4/7 Scarab, there's nowhere on the board, by having in that middle tire, there's nowhere on the board the Abyssian General can go to actually get out of this. Dark Transformation, that's going to work. And Dark Transformation getting put down to 4 makes it extremely hard not to take in a Abyssian army right now. I'm interested why Philip walked in currently with his current setup. I probably try to keep a little bit of distance still in this certain scenario. He is locking up that Pyromancer very well with positioning though. Like I really like that part of it, of his play so far. 6. Okay, it's gonna get rid of that. So still has the ability to clear. He can actually bring down the Dunecaster to trade and clear out, or he can use his general to clear out. There's a lot of potential here for, if he had, like, this is one of those scenarios where he's like, I wish I had 7, right? Like, I wish I had 7. And okay, so he's actually going to use his Dunecaster because he doesn't want to have the Pyromancer locked up here. And instead, he's going to rotate down into a better position here to try to get better blasts off. Again, he's putting a lot of effort clearing out, and I think this is the correct move. And then when he needs, he can go double. He can go Orb Weaver here, and he can also cast, Fire Obelisk, and that'll make them 3/2s. And as long as it doesn't get dispelled, he's in a pretty good spot. Personally, the only reason I would maybe suck it in and go for the full surround is, it's a pretty good launching point. He's spread out very well. Like, there's nowhere you could really fly away to with a flying sword and get great value. He does also have Tracer to chase if need be. I have a feeling this is going to be another Ephemeral Shroud. Probably. Nope, it's going to be Vorpal Reaver. So that's actually really good. So that's really good for Criznox here because he wants to see something big like that. He also has a Silence in hand. So that's not scary to him. And if he gets any sort of like Second Wish action here, he could be really strong. He has the ability just to start going to face and dealing damage, and I wouldn't worry too much about depends on the Vorpal Reaver, but he's not in a situation where the Vorpal Reaver is going to really be hurting him here. So it's just, so what I'm interested here is, does he go to face, because he has a free way to basically deal with this Vorpal Reaver currently. And he has a lot of board. I think you just go for the face here and you silence the Vorpal Reaver and call it good. Who? All right, so he clears it out right there. He's going to trade in damage now. In general, he could have brought the thing is, like, he could have brought the general down to 1, which is pretty much lethal, guaranteed with Silhouette Tracer, basically at this point. But it doesn't matter. The board is completely clear. That's a good look. He's sitting here, pretty satisfied with current situation. And it's up to Phillips as what he's going to do here. I don't think Philip has a lot of outs. There's not a lot of good outs for Philip. He's much healthier than he probably could have been. So now he's going to back off here. If he has any way to ping this Staff of Valkyr off, he's great. If he doesn't, then he's in trouble. Because Silhouette Tracer will just get him in. A Myra healer is going to be another big problem to deal with. But, I mean, Abyssian has ways to deal with a Myra that don't require a lot of... so Lasso for Demonic Lure is actually is one of those. Again, that was a potential finisher. Still has a lot of obelisks that can spawn and bring out units. That top obelisk is the main one currently that could do something here for him. Interesting, didn't cast that in front of him. He's trying to block the win, essentially. Did he already silence that one? And I missed it? Or did they summon 2 dervishes in the same spot and not summon one? I don't know there. So the thing need to be careful here is entirely the fact that Black Solos can't be killed. So we can't trade dervishes into it to kill it. You can't bring a dervish there to finish off. So he has to respect the fact that although he's seen 2 Wraithling Swarms, that Black Solos could get really big really quick and possibly be a finisher. So now he has to decide. I think he probably trades in to Solus to get it off the board, and then you just Amira and then profit. More than likely, you can Amira and Crawler here for profit. So now it's going to need a lasso. So that's going to... there's nothing that... she's going to need a lasso, the flying... lasso and some amazing buffs, basically, to trade this out. I like that he put her to 2 in the fact that it basically means game in a lot of ways. But you also have to put faith in that Myra is not going to be... Okay, yeah. So he didn't have anything for Myra. If he was able to lasso a Myra away across the board, then it actually gets scary because there are ways to buff Solus. But hey, there you go. Boom. Game 1 round going to Criznox, who's going to take it. Congratulations to him. Well played match. Sorry guys if I'm popping the mic too much. I'm talking into it. I'll put off to the side of my mouth. Hopefully that'll help, and I'm not breathing into it. Sometimes I get a little too excited. But yeah, it's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up, because it's a problem with this mic currently set up. I used to have one, but it weighted down, the arm that this is on currently. So I could probably set it up a little bit better and get a new one. Yeah, so if your opponent, so if anybody's watching this currently playing the tournament, if your opponent is like not showing up, let me know in game. It's hard for me to go through the hip chat because it gets blasted like 40 times during the middle of a game to cast it. So if I go back to it, it's hard for me to see who actually wasn't there and what like. Because if you just report the score, then I don't know. Hopefully we can come up with a better system next time to make sure people are like notify me when they're dropping. Because that's just a good courtesy. And this way I'll be able to, because I want people to play matches, and when you just don't show, then it's like, okay, the person gets a buy, so they have to sit around again. And and in the case where like you maybe get two of those back to back, it's not fun. The point is you're supposed to play the games, right? Just be in the game. So I'd hope people that checked in and were playing actually stuck around through the whole thing and played it out. So it looks like we're going to be able to go in here to game 2 of our best of 3. All right, so here we go. Starting off, Philip actually going to be player 1 yet again. Going to start off with the Abyssal Crawler. Good if you're running a lot of creep control in your deck. Not a lot of decks tend to just say have that as a late game out. I find that Shadow Nova is really particularly strong if you play a really good stall Abyssian. We'll see if Criznox actually has the start he wants here. He, again, could go Dunecaster, but it's not the best. Because you want to save it for Obelisk, and Obelisk, so then later you hold out Obelisk, you have to wait. So probably, I actually like Orb Weaver in this situation personally. I think Dunecaster is pretty good. It's like a 2/3 for 2 is actually a good body. In early stages, it's just like it's so much more potent to like make your Dervish a 4/4, right? But you don't know if it's gonna stick around. If you waited a turn 2, you could Orb Weaver and Dervish. Like if he can find a mana tile, there's a lot of other options. But overall, this isn't a terrible play. It's a stronger board presence than 2/2/2s because the 2/2s could be easily traded off, and I don't think Abyssian cares about giving up their Abyssal Crawler. Right, their Abyssal Crawler is really just there to grab this mana tile and die a horrible death, pretty much. Not there for much else. You can actually grab both mana tiles this turn. Philip can. So let's see if he decides to play out here. Stepping up. I mean, turns have gotten a lot better, especially when you get to 4 core with Dark Transformation being 4 now. Like, second turn, being able to pull that off is actually pretty good. Oh, I love this play. I love this play because the cool part about it is Night Star Assassin in general gets to live off of this, so you get good damage on, and they have to find a way to trade out of this. The Abyssal Crawler can't finish anything off. Oh, and another Abyssal Crawler. Ooh, good board for Abyssian right here. That's a good turn. Now, he still has, I mean, the Dunecaster's going to put in work, right? Because Dunecaster's going to be able to come in here, trade into the 4/1, and easily clear it out if he wants. So to me, best play here is probably you step up Orb Weaver into the Mana Crystal, and then you have Crawler available essentially. So you can basically clear the board and you have 3 units. Probably what I in general would play out here as we see here. But I mean, having the Abyssal here is pretty strong for him. So I don't like that. The only reason I don't like that is because now he can't. So now he's going to Orb Weaver, but it's going to, one of his Orb Weaver auto dies because it's on the creep. It's unfortunate. Usually you want to step up so that you would create the space so that the Orb Weaver wouldn't die. Because now the Orb Weaver just insta dies. Ooh, good future turns. He's hitting curve really well right here. So he has lots of options. So Abyssian probably a little bit sad here with this current setup. Oh. The Orb Weaver. Oh, Orb Weaver's end of Abyssian's turn. Okay. I was going to say, I was like, yeah, I forgot. Normally you don't usually leave your units on stuff like that. Usually, oh, okay. There we go. 1 to everything. That's pretty decent. That lets him clear out the crawler, which is really, really big for his faction. Ends turn, watches him burn. So deciding how he wants to play this out. Me personally, I mean, we'll see what he decides to do here. I think Criznox has options, which is always the good part. I feel like Abyssinian's last turn wasn't very strong. It was more strong because of the placement of the Orb Weaver on top of the creep. If the Orb Weaver wasn't there, he'd have another 2/1 basically on the board, which is really good. Placement also is key here too, because you want to control how the Abyssinian player is moving, where they're placing units. Right now, the Abyssinian player has creep around them, which is good. The cool part about fighting in creep a lot of times is that... Oh, okay. So he's going to clear out board. He's going to go for Scarab. I don't think a lot of people play Breath of the Unborn, so in general, I like to press there. I would probably not play Scarab, and I would probably play Dudes, because the main thing is like, Abyssinian has a lot of good ways to remove big single target things. They don't have a lot of great ways to deal with lots of little dudes unless they play Breath of the Unborn, but Breath of the Unborn is usually a card that's not played by a lot of factions. 2 damage to everything and heals everything by 2. This is a great hand for Criznox currently. Like, he has... Oh, and he gets him to come in. So this is probably Dark Transformation? No? Lasso? What's he doing? Usually when you move like that, it's Lasso. So yeah, putting him to the corner means it can't get to him, blast him this next turn. But it's not a for sure answer. Oh wow, is that all they had with the turn? Oh no. Oh no. This is no good. This is no bueno. That's rough. Yeah, there's a bunch of spells or something, or had a really expensive hand last round. So in general, why I like to move units. So he moved his Scarab down. Why I like to move units towards creep is if he could stack it above that creep cell, it reduces Shadow Nova potential, which is a general like, because like potato where like he moves right there, like he's gonna be equidistant either way, and you might be like, oh well, like you want to be in the area where you have more mobility and there's no creep. Well, like basically blast units move like they only move in straight line essentially to get their columns or rows, right? So if you move it towards it and then another turn you can get it on top of that creep or directly above it, that means when they Shadow Nova, he can only make it worth 5. Currently, wherever he Shadow Novas, he can make it worth 6. So that's the question is here is like if he would Shadow Nova on his 7 mana drop, like where would you be? If he plays Vorpal Reaver here, it's a big dude, but I think he's in a world of hurt. All right, Wraithing Swarm. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Does he have a way to sacrifice and kill the unit? That's the question. The trick for Amira is like killing herself, but if she gets to swing on your general, so good. Darkfire Sacrifice. We're gonna buy something big here. What are we buying? Black Solace? No, Deepfire Devourer. So this is a good play. He now has a 10/10, but this actually isn't a problem at all. Like, this is actually like if he even had a silence, like this would be like that would be. It's a good play, but it's not gonna win in the game. And he has the ability to clear it. Like Criznox has the ability to clear it with his board. And because he can clear it with his board for really good value, and he has good drops this turn, I have a feeling he's still in the driver's seat here. I mean, it's really been tough for Philip. I mean, I can't blame he's had some rough turns, right? So that's kind of been the problem so far this game for him. All right, let's see here. Steps up. Is normally the problem is you can't get Amira to kill herself, right? Like it takes a while to get her to kill herself, but now you get the 6 heal, you get the 6 damage, and you get the blast off. Puts him in a weird position, but there's so much that can come out this turn. I thought he also had a Dunecaster in his hand. All right, well he's got to play quick, which is fine. The full surround is on. He's going to swing in. Put Philip down to 15, so Philip at 15, 20 to 23 health. All things looking pretty good. Only way to optimize that a little bit better is walking. Would have been walking forward and swinging into general first. So you were back up to 26 full, I think, because I think he had less than 4 damage on him. Small optimizations, game of inches, game of tiles, as I like to call it. Oh, man. All right, here we go. What does Philip have? I believe in you, Philip. I believe in you. You got this. I honestly don't know what the best player here is for him. So the good news is he's actually in a good position to get away from this, potentially away from the Starfire Scarab. The Starfire Scarab is in the best position to run him down this turn. Oh my gosh. What's he got? What's he got for 2? What's he got for 2? What's he got? He's got anything? Uh-oh. This could be bad. Ooh, he silences. I mean, I don't blame him. I don't think he. I was trying to think of like what combination of 7 cost put him in a good position for this turn, and based on the cards he's played, he probably wouldn't have it. And in most cases, like even though the last turn was okay, like so obviously he can still lose his 5/4 and won't have anything out of it. He should have. Yeah, he has lethal here. He has 5, 8, plus the 5 from Staff Valkyr. That's 13. That's lethal. So this play is just this. If he didn't have lethal, this is a play. But he does have lethal here. And there it is. Boom. There's 11 right there, plus the other. So boom. 14 damage in the pocket. Good played. Well played. Criznox winning 2-0. Very nice match there against Philip. Well played by both members. Philip, unfortunately, didn't have the best draw at times in that game, so not all him, but overall just great play from both players, and credit to Criznox winning 2-0. So I'm going to go check on the bracket, see how everything else is going. Should be bringing you one of the contender or title matches in the next round, although we have some good ones going on right now. Let's see if I can find a stream of anything that's currently going on. But otherwise, just chilling some music.